Yeah! Hi everyone, me Darryl again. Finally, it's time to do a sketchbook tour. This sketchbook covers like 7 or 8 years, starting from 2017 or 2018. At first, it was used for taking notes. And it's randomly recorded a lot of content because it's interspersed with messy notes and it wasn't just used in sequence. So this sketchbook is pretty much like a chaotic time machine. At the end of this video, I'll share you with a few little stories of this sketchbook. So please be sure stay with me till the end. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's open this up and take a look. The first one, that seems like the first one, but it was actually finished most recently. The date is April 23rd, 2025. And this is me trying to do a kind of creative sketch. To be honest, I didn't think it through very well at the time, so this design here isn't great. And this character is a design I already had. If you watched my last video, you also saw my entire process of creating it. It took around 1 hour and 50 minutes. It integrates some line art and shading techniques. It's kind of a comprehensive application of some of the techniques in Path of Sketching. And then the next one, April 21st, 2025. This is also a demonstration. Actually, if you watch the episode 5 of my Path of Sketching series, which is about how to add more fun to sketching, this is a pure example using block color. Let's take a look. The next one. You guys definitely haven't seen this one because I haven't posted it. This is an unfinished one. I was trying to use color pencil to draw a portrait, but I gave up because the whole process wasn't very comfortable. My attempt was to incorporate more colors, but overall result wasn't good, so I gave up. It took a long time to draw because you need to layer color pencils little by little. I didn't think this was the direction I wanted to go. Okay, and then this page. Actually, here, this one. This is a rough sketch idea I had before, just a general composition. I might draw this out, but it should probably just stay like this for now. I don't know when I will draw it. And this one should be quite early, I think. Speaking to this sketchbook, to be honest, this should be the very first proper drawing, a doodle-like thing. In this sketchbook, this drawing was probably done in 2018, and now, after about almost a third of it, this is the first drawing. But as you can see, this is not very good either. Actually, the idea wasn't very good at the time. Just scribbled a couple of lines. You can't really see what it is. So let's just leave it as a memory. Flipping over. This is from April 24th, 2025. And that's right, you see here. This is 2018. It immediately jumped to 2025. Surprise! You can see how big the gap is in between. And then this is me trying to draw something using acrylic markers, kind of a practice and an experiment. You can see there are some color pencil strokes on the top here, roughly trying out the technique. And then this one, I don't really like this character. It's not drawn very well, right? This was also an attempt to see what kind of effect you get when you use acrylic markers for a character. The original sketch for this drawing and this character were from the same time, and it pretty much just got to this stage, just roughly sketched, because my mind was a bit foggy at that time, so I didn't continue it at all. After finishing this one that day, at the same time, I then drew this one and refined it a bit, but I think it's completely not good. The design, the shape, everything is not okay. You can compare to the original look just slightly better, at least making the sketchbook look a bit better, right? This one I'll keep as it is. to remind myself how bad I was back then. And this one make this sketchbook look a bit nicer. And next up are our notes again. Ctrl+7, 底视图 views. This seems to be notes I took when I learning Blender, I guess. Okay, here. These should be some random drawings from December of 2024 or January of 2025. Here I try to draw using only a water brush, like this one. Used only a water brush. And this one still have some, probably a sign pen to outline some contour lines. And I just wanted to use this water brush to do a sketching practice, a kind of a tool experiment. And this one too. The composition of this piece has problem, like this much blank space on the paper. January 6, 2025. Oh, so these two drawings should be from 2025. And this is an attempt to do a portrait with a water brush. I think this drawing is just so-so. Alright, these two drawings are relatively sloppy. You see, this one, I drew this line with a sign pen and then used a water brush to add some shadows. I think this is a stroke test. I think this probably only took a minute or 2 or 2 or 3 minutes. Very sloppy. This was a pure tool experiment, just to see the effect of the tool. It's something I tried when I was doing a review of sketching pen. And then this one seems to be just a few line drawings purely with a sign pen. The time should also be very short and the effect isn't good. So these two drawings have absolutely no real so-called practice value. They're just pure doodles. Alright, hey, I actually made a video about this before, where I drew a Utopia Cityscape from start to finish without any baselines. This was my initial concept. It's not like I just randomly started drawing without any draft. So this is a concept sketch. The full video, you can go back and watch it if you are interested. This is another pure water brush attempt. This one, it's a failure. The effect isn't good because this face, oh my god. Because I wanted to try incorporating more tonal layers, but it just failed. The composition is fine. The lighting is also fine. It's just that the face is drawn a bit ugly, a bit off. Alright, this page is pure practice, are all figure studies. This one is also done quite badly because I haven't done this kind of practice for a long time. This must also be from 2025. This is also pure practice. The lines on this one are so hesitant, and the form are also crooked and distorted. It's like this. When you haven't drawn for too long, it really is a case of use it or lose it. Even if once you felt you had a good grasp of them, but you haven't practiced for a long time, and then you suddenly have to draw, it's still very bad. Because your brain is no longer familiar with that set of operation, and it actually deteriorates. This drawing was the first one I drew when I tried doing a live stream for the first time. The form is also a bit off, and you can see the lines inside are also very hesitant and messy. It wasn't drawn well, and this is the same day. And then this drawing had a reference image. This drawing was purely my own creation. It's like after this warm-up, when I went to draw this one, my ideas seemed clearer, and the overall handling was also better, including the line art, including these hatching lines. I think this drawing is one I'm quite satisfied with, although the composition is a bit off-center. And from start to finish, there was no initial sketch or anything else. It's a pity because the recording quality of that live stream wasn't good. The playback quality was extremely poor. Okay, next. And then this is a drawing done with brush pen. This was after I was browsing image online and saw a scene, probably not India but Bangladesh or those places. I thought, hey, that picture looks quite interesting. Let me try to do a practice. Actually very complex, all peoples, and I didn't finish completely. Another pure practice drawing and dynamic pose practice. You see this one is very bad. And this one using a large perspective. This one is also very bad. Everything is wrong inside because I really haven't done this kind of pure basic practice for a long time. This one is also bad. If you don't practice, it doesn't take long for you to completely go back to square one. And then, this was an attempt to draw a building with the brush pen, but I found that sometimes when you want to draw a smooth, crispy line here with a soft brush, it doesn't work. So I just stopped the drawing here. It's completely not good. This one is purely a concept sketch because at that time I was doing that You Decide, I Draw series. This is Bato and this is Motoko, two characters from Ghost in the Shell. Someone suggested drawing Ghost in the Shell, so I brainstormed a sketch. Another pure practice. Oh wait, they aren't all pure practice. This is pure experimentation. This were when I bought a new brush pen. See, it should be this one. I think I was testing the effect of this brush pen, okay? Next up, this seems to be something I drew during another live stream as well. At the time, my mind was completely blank. I don't know what to draw, so I just drew this thing, a tilted lighthouse. And this one is from January 22nd, 2025. Also from You Decided I Draw series. A Bilibili user asked me to draw a Faputa. This one feels pretty good, although it's completely not my style. This one. This is from the same day. Songbird, a character from Cyberpunk 2077. I quite like this drawing too, although it seems like that episode didn't get many views, but I personally like it. I think the overall form is decent. I feel it looks more comfortable than the model in the game, but that's just my own opinion. And alright. This page is probably also from the same time. Again, a few characters from Ghost in the Shell. Here is a layout of that drawing. I didn't record that one. It's in another sketchbook because I drew that bigger one and it failed. So I turned around and drew these things. Just gave up that composition and drew a few posters readily. The next drawing is a portrait. This is completely not what I wanted to draw, and it's not drawing well either. A friend asked if I could draw a portrait for him, so I did. At that time, I thought of it as a practice for myself, but it's just so-so. This is also a practice. Practicing using a waterbrush for shadows and tones. Overall, just very conventional. This was a quick sketch practice I did when I unboxed a figure. This one. But I don't think this one is drawn well. The perspective is a bit off. This is probably also just pure practice, I think. It's just okay. At that time, I didn't know what to draw, just a completely blank mind. Like here, there's also a kind of animated style face here, but it's unfinished. There's also half a face here. Just two different styles for drawing a portrait, but they are all unfinished. And this should be a simple demonstration from the third episode of Path of Sketching series. The one about drawing light and shadow using markers for the two-value method. And this is an example drawing from the sixth episode of Path of Sketching. February 21st, 2025. Purely using lines for sketching. I'm quite satisfied with this one because I didn't take too long and the overall effect is good. And this is also from the same video, right? The content of the second episode of Path of Sketching. And this drawing is drawing with light and shadow, combining the two-value method. February 21st, actually drawn around the same time as this drawing, but it wasn't released later. And this one is Experimentation. It was a random draw when I was experimenting with color pencils, but I only drew this much. I didn't continue, and then this was penetrated by the markers. The reason for the penetration is probably because this was also a demonstration from the third episode of Path of Sketching, so it got through. And this is also Path of Sketching. When I was drawing light and shadow, I tried using pencils because I really don't use pencils much, so the overall feeling is just so-so. March 20th. This is also Path of Sketching, should be episode 4 or 3? Episode 3, which is about light and shadow. I drew a sketching example. This was something I wanted to do as an example for episode 3, but I didn't think it was good, so I gave up on it. And this is also an example. Why are they all examples? This sketchbook feels like almost more than 2/3 of it is done, right? It almost seems like they are all example drawings for videos. The one with video recordings. You can go and check that episode. Another example from Path of Sketching on March 21st, combining light and shadow. This was actually also an example for that episode, but I thought the effect was just okay. There's actually a video recording of it, but it hasn't been released. Line art combined with Waterbrush to do a light and shadow sketch. That should also be about light and shadow. March 22nd, an example drawing, and then I added a little color to it here using color pencils. Here's a page of sticker paper. I didn't know what to draw, so I left it blank. These are practice figure drawings. This one looks relatively comfortable, and these two are actually a bit off. The lines inside are all sketchy, too hesitant, too ambiguous. Actually not okay. And this is probably a practice right after this page, drawn quite badly, uncomfortable. Alright, March 23rd. This is an attempt to draw a single building using markers. The bluish tone in the background is the base color laid down with markers, and then I used colored pencils on top. Practice. This drawing failed because when I was drawing, my position is quite far away from the sketchbook, and then when I look closely, the face was actually drawn too long. Uncomfortable. Alright, this is me trying to draw this picture using color pencils, and I tried to incorporate many colors inside. This was when I was reviewing that pencil set. I started trying to use color pencils in more of my own sketches, but because of the characteristics of color pencils, the process takes quite a long time. So if you want to use it for something like our sketching concept, the time will actually be a bit longer. And this is me trying to use combined techniques to finish it, using all the techniques I mentioned in those few episodes of Path of Sketching that have already been made, trying a comprehensive application. And this whole completed drawing probably took less than an hour. This one actually also has a video recording. Go to my Patreon page to watch it. Okay, this should probably also just be pure practice. That kind of thing you draw when you don't know what else to draw. Actually, I think even for practice, when you don't know what to draw, you could also draw something else. What else can you draw? Oh god, what am I talking? Alright, this is the content from the 5th episode of Path of Sketching. This is an example done purely with line art. The next drawing should also be an example done purely with blocks of color. This drawing and this drawing were actually drawn at the same time because these two have the same meanings. It's just that when I was almost out of paper at the end, I flipped it to the front and there was a blank page. So I drew it here. This time it feels like a very temporarily jumbled sketchbook, right? Okay, this is another example using the brush pen, a combination of lines and small color blocks. And then, this is another example, just purely using lines. I recorded this drawing, but I didn't release it because I thought it was just so-so. Another example is also from the 5th episode, purely line art but with colors. These two have the same meaning. Alright, this is also a video I haven't released, also line work, trying to draw a sketch like this. It has the same meaning as this one I just showed, so also trying to imitate Mobius style. Would anyone want to see that? This is just a completely failure page. I don't know what I was trying to draw, just a completely failed one. And then, this is probably the last example in 5th episode, which is using color pencils again to draw a sketch. I'm relatively more satisfied with this one. There are some color changes within unified tones. This kind of cyan blue tone, right? The overall state is also quite relaxed, drawing something across 2 pages. And this drawing, this is theoretically the last drawing in this sketchbook, theoretically. April 24th, 2025. As you can see, actually, this above part is still have some preview notes. These are cookie recipes. At the time, I was trying to test the effect of acrylic markers. I think the result is pretty good, but I don't have a video recording of this. I combined several references and drew this picture. Someone said, this looks a bit like a scene from Zelda. I think it's a tiny bit like it, including the effect of the color I used. I quite like it. This should be the last page left in this sketchbook with a slightly larger blank area. You see? And then, this is the last page of drawing in this sketchbook. It's a self-portrait I did back then. This also should be drawing in 2018, a long time ago. I drew a kind of cartoon style of myself, including these glasses frames. It's my glasses back then. A bit funny, right? Look back at this sketchbook. I'm filled with emotions. Among the pictures in this sketchbook, which one's your favorite? Please tell me in the comments. This one, and this one, and the last one are the ones I'm more satisfied with. So, all in all, look back at this sketchbook. It's like a jumbo time machine. All these drawings inside weren't drawn in order, and it also incorporates a lot of these random things, a lot of my previous notes. Very interesting. I completed most of this sketchbook in the last half years or so after I started making videos. As you can see, this sketchbook, the binding is coming apart here. It's already had a bit of battle-worn feel. What's even more interesting is, first, this sketchbook should span many years. If you look closely, you should be able to feel that many parts of this sketchbook have yellowed, right? Actually, it's been kept for quite a long time, and it was exposed to the sun when it was stored. I purely took it out used for some experimental trial and error things for making videos. And the funniest thing is, this sketchbook isn't mine. It's from when I was a teacher around 2017 at an education institution. The student had graduated and didn't take this sketchbook away, left it in the classroom. When I was cleaning up, I found it. I thought, hey, there's an empty sketchbook here. No one wanted. So sorry, I'll take it then. So I didn't even know who the sketchbook originally belonged to. Alright. The review is officially over. Bye bye.